Today, we are diving deep into a story where modern-day skepticism slams right into an ancient, terrifying rule. It's about the kind of truth that, well, it doesn't really care if you believe in it. And it's about the unbelievably high price of that disbelief. You know, in a remote mountain village, 7 p.m. isn't just when the sun goes down. It's a deadline for survival. It's a curfew that isn't enforced by any law, but by a deep, primal fear. Because after this hour, the rules of our world start to break down. And that, right there, is the heart of this story. You've got one man's dismissal of these beliefs as just baseless rumors versus an entire community's absolute conviction that these rules are the only thing keeping them alive. Let's see how this clash plays out.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're about to meet our protagonist as he steps into a world with a logic that is completely alien to his own. A place where all the certainties of his modern life are about to be challenged in the most brutal way imaginable.
Meet Gaurav. He's a city guy, you know? He believes in science and logic. He's visiting his friend Manisha's remote village, a place that's run by tradition and a really strict 7 p.m. curfew. From the second he gets there, you can just feel the tension between his modern worldview and the village's ancient one.
And this quote, it says it all, doesn't it? He's not just skeptical, he is completely dismissive. He's just writing off these deep-seated fears as, fiction. It's the kind of confidence that can only come from a world where everything has a perfectly rational explanation.
So his very first encounter with the village's customs is this ritual, the Arshi. For Manisha's mother, this is a vital protection, right? It's to ward off unseen forces at dusk. For Gaurav, though, it's just more baseless superstition. It's just more proof that he stepped back in time.
So what exactly are the villagers so afraid of? The story doesn't just leave it vague, which I love. Gaurav is given very, very specific warnings about the entities that are said to roam after dark.
First, he's warned about the Chalawa. Now, this isn't your typical monster. It's a deceiver, a shapeshifter that messes with your senses, twisting reality around you until, poof, you vanish, without a trace. It's a psychological threat just as much as a physical one.
And then there's the main event, the Bhuton Ki Barat, or the ghost wedding procession. This isn't just some random spirit in the woods. It's a moving spectacle, a whole parade of the dead. And the rule is simple and absolute. If they see you, you're gone.
So when Gaurav is confronted with this terrifying local legend, what does he do? He mocks it. He finds it so completely absurd, it's literally a joke to him. And it's this supreme confidence, this total dismissal of a world he doesn't understand, that ends up sealing his fate.
And this brings us to the turning point. Gaurav isn't satisfied with just quietly disagreeing. Oh no, he decides to actively defy the village's most sacred rule. He's going to prove with his modern tools that their ancient fears are completely groundless.
He steps outside after the deadline, but he does more than just break the rule. He pulls out his phone to record. He's determined to capture the nothing that happens, to create digital proof that their fears are just silly.
And this is where his world, the one he built on logic and science, begins to just completely fall apart. Because the nothing he expected to film turns out to be, well, something else entirely.
The story just brilliantly shows this breakdown in stages. First, his hearing gets tricked by phantom sounds. Then his sight is deceived by a dog that literally vanishes and reappears. And finally, he comes face to face with a shape-shifting entity whose face just melts, confirming that warning about the Chalawa.
This entity, even warns him about the ghost procession before twisting its own body into this unnatural shape and chasing him. At this point, Gaurav's arrogance is gone. It's been replaced by pure, primal terror. He runs and hides, a man whose entire belief system has just shattered in a matter of minutes.
So there he is, hiding in the bushes, absolutely terrified, and he's about to confront the very nightmare he was mocking just a few hours before. The ultimate horror is on its way. As he hears music in the distance, his first instinct is to get help. He thinks it's a normal wedding party. But then the warning from Manisha's brother just flashes in his mind, and he freezes. That memory is the only thing that stops him from running directly into his own doom.
And from his hiding place, he sees them.
The details are so grotesque, so specific. The torn flesh, the bulging eyes, the backward twisted feet. Every single horrifying element is designed to be pure nightmare fuel. This is not just a ghost story. It's a visceral, terrifying vision.
He tries to become invisible, right? He's holding his breath, staying perfectly still, but it's not enough. In one single, heart-stopping moment, a figure in the procession turns its head. Their eyes meet, and his fate is sealed.
But the story doesn't end in that moment of terror. We are shown the cold, hard consequences of his disbelief. Let's take a look at the aftermath.
In the morning, they find Gaurav, and the state of his body is this chilling testament to what happened. His limbs are twisted backward, a grotesque mimicry of the very spirits he saw. It's a horrifying message. He wasn't just killed, he was remade in their image. And his phone, the symbol of his skepticism, is still recording in his pocket.
Manisha's final words just perfectly summarize the tragedy. It's a story of a friend who tried to warn another, of a rule that was broken, and of a life that was lost not to some accident, but to a stubborn refusal to respect a belief system he just didn't understand.
And that leaves us with this final haunting question. Did Gaurav's mind, primed by all the villagers' warnings, just create this horror out of his own fear? Or did he step into a different kind of reality, one with ancient rules that he fatally chose to ignore? The story leaves that for you to decide.